Hi, my name is Sean Russell and I work a lot with web design, usability and accessibility. I'm currently working on my postgrad, which is to do with the web and how the older people use that. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Visual Studio and how I used it and still use it today. VisualStudio.net 2008 is it's brilliant for a developer. You can drag and drop many tools from the left-hand toolbar. Instead of writing the code, which is always a good thing. You can use something called a master page, which holds the design together pretty well, and you can just use it easily. It makes your design easier to control and manage. You can also import and use your own CSS, which you may have used before. That's what I do a lot. It handles images that I make in Photoshop really well, just by having it in the right directory. You can import all that, and the visual design layout is pretty handy as well. You can have a split view, so you can see your code and you can see your layout being rendered just below it whenever you change the code, which is always a good thing. One great thing in 2008 as well is the IntelliSense on the JavaScript. So you can, as you type your JavaScript, it will tell you whether it's right or wrong. You give the syntax and make sure that's correct. You also have a debugger as well in the new 2008, which is always a great thing. So instead of using Firebug, you can now use Visual Studio to use all of that, or to debug all of our code, including the client-side script. Yeah, so I give it 2 thumbs up.
Hi, my name is Harry. One of the things I really like about Visual Studio is that in one application you have an environment where you can develop in all different languages like ASP and C# and Java and VB, and also that it's just a case of installing it and you're kind of away you go rather than trying to configure different compilers for different languages. One of the things I really liked about it is the ease of adding data sources and databases to your projects, as opposed to hard coding it and things like that. You can actually use the wizards, which are very kind of intuitive and make things very easy for you. In Visual Studio, it's very easy to quickly make applications with a very professional look and feel using the drag and drop technology included in Visual Studio. One of the things I like about Visual Studio 2008 is its inbuilt support for JavaScript IntelliSense. It makes using JavaScript and working and building Ajax applications significantly easier.
Hi, I'm Gavin Golden. I'm a software engineer here in UCC. I'm working on a project for a local company and for Enterprise Ireland, and I've been using pretty much all Microsoft tools. Visual Studio 2008, the Windows Mobile emulator. I have another Visual Studio here for testing out on Windows Vista as well as on XP. I think I've learned a lot about even just the proper way to code by using the structures that Microsoft has in place. It makes things very easy to go from one platform to another. As in, if I'm working on this project and I need to see the relevant screens on the PDA, I can just double click and it comes with a completely different development environment that is integrated into the one system, which saves a lot of time, hassle and configuration. If you were to do something like this with say Java, I've seen people doing the same sort of projects and they're fiddling around for hours with designing the interface and stuff with that. With other integrated development environments, it's not quite as integrated, which calls into question the whole point of it. It's definitely a time saver as well, because the model that Visual Studio use for object orientation makes it very easy and blatant as to what you're supposed to do to make things work properly. So you're almost coaxed into doing object-oriented code, which means, especially with a large project like this, that code that you've done in one area of the project on a completely different platform can be instead of copying and pasting it and editing it, I can just reference it somewhere else, use it in the same project, or a completely different project. A lot of the code that I'm writing now, I'm going to be hanging on to because it's sort of generic code that I could pretty much use in any Microsoft environment.